Mr.Jerry's back, talking more about his game show idea. These are my Gorilla gloves. I said I had some. It's pretty cool. I might have to take them off to talk about what I want. All right, first of all, the video before the last video, I mentioned the guy from Heat and from RoboCop 2. So I looked his IMDb up. His name was Tom Noonan. And man, I found out that he died February the 14th, or just this last February 14th. He was in a bunch of stuff. The last thing I saw him in was Blacklist, and he was like the stew maker, like a serial killer, the stew maker. And then right before that, he was a big part of the 12 Monkeys TV adaptation. But he's pretty cool. I watched like just a little bit of a movie that was on like Stars or something, where he was talking to this lady he met and visited her at her home, and she was like, "Oh, you seem so really smart." When that one guy was saying that one thing, and then you argued with him, and then he was like real shy and he said something like, "No, I'm not really that smart. I just watch like a whole bunch of documentaries on TV." And then, you know, he came off kind of weird, but then she started talking about like fetuses, like fetal skeletons put in the walls, and like she opened like a whole can of worms up on him. But I don't know, you remember things you identify with, but that guy's name that I was talking on the video before the last video about the guy that was in the wheelchair, the plan maker in the movie Heat. His name was Tom Noonan. He's a really good character actor. He died February the 14th. All right. I just wanted to, I really looked him up so I could just say his name, but then I found out he died. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. All right. Now, I had a Nano Banana through Gemini make up a whole bunch of different like pictures of like the host and like this evil wizard host. But then I put in like a comedic actor as host, and the comedic actor as host pictures are a lot better, and that's why I think this thing should definitely be like some kind of a comedic actor. I mean, the number one guy on the list you'd think would be Patton Oswalt to be like the host, but what I'm really wanting is for someone to make a character, and then that character be the thing. So it's like who's good at making characters. So someone like that, and really like the people that's making the show, y'all decide who it is, but I'm just trying to give the best advice I can give. But like, you know, you want to make a like interesting character. And like I said before in videos, like you want to have the attitude of like Colonel Clink. He's got you. He's kidnapped you. You're a wizard, a thief, and a warrior, and you're fighting his monsters in his dungeon. And but at the same time, he wants to impress you, and there's like there should be like a go back and forth. And plus, he's not going to be like a host like, oh, I really want you to win. No. He wants you to lose. So whoever plays, just understand that attitude. I remember in that Howie Mandel thing, the Deal or No Deal, they had like the guy up there that was a bad guy, and Howie Mandel was like the go-between, they call on the phone. Like Howie Mandel and the guy up there will be one person in this. And it'll work. It'll work like that. It'll work best like that. There are comedic actors that I had my eye on that I think would be really good hosts for this. The number one is Steve Little. Now, he was McBride's sidekick on Eastbound and Down. He was really, really funny as his characters in Reno 911. And he was a really, really great sycophant uncle for the one girl in Back Off Haters. And like, I think like he's the number one guy that I think would work out. Now, the number two guy that I think would really be cool is a guy by the name of Rich Fulcher. And I think I'm pronouncing it right. But I first saw him in the Mighty Boosh. The first thing I saw him do was like a Fleetwood Mac thing, and like, oh, that guy's weird as hell. But I think he would really like. He's good at throwing fits, and and like that would be really good as him being the DM. It would really work. Plus, I don't like he's the dungeon. Okay, like okay, in the '70s show, and also the Mike Myers and Dan Carvey thing, the Wayne's World thing, where like they have like a basement and there's a stairway, and then also in the '70s show they get stoned and talk around in that basement thing. I want the character to have like parents. Like he has a dungeon, but the parents are like even bigger overlords of a bigger universe or something. And then every once in a while his mom yells down in the basement and says, "Hey, what are how's it going down there? You want to bring snacks? Leave me alone, Mom." But he really is overlord of a dungeon, but they treat him like that. And that goes along with the Trelane thing and like on Futurama where they remake kind of like the Train Energy body guy where the parents come in, like that kind of thing. But he really is an overlord, and maybe he has like a brother or sister that have better dungeons that they talk about all the time. I don't know, something like that. I think would really be good. Okay, Rich Fulcher, Salma Mai Bush. He's been on Drunk History a couple times, well, at least once. And he was a host one. He talked on one, and then he appeared in one. And then infomercials with that one guy from Upright Citizens Brigade. And I like this character actor. I think one of the reasons I really like him, and I don't want him to take it as an insult, but like I'm a Marvel guy I'm a Marvel kid. If you see my Instagram page, Mr.Jerry, 1971, if you go there, you'll realize that, I was a Marvel kid. But this Rich Fulcher guy is the most ideal guy I ever seen that could play the original Toad. Like Magneto used to have like the Toad and the Toad's sidekick. And like if they ever because I remember they said we'll only bring back Wolverine, and they did only bring back Wolverine in the Deadpool. But if they ever bring back that one guy that played not Ian McClane, but the other guy that played Magneto, bring him back in some kind of a thing. Maybe Wanda in the Vision, because he's supposed to be Wanda's dad. Have him have either speckled gray hair or full-on white hair. Change the Magneto back to white. Something happened. And then bring that Rich Fulcher in and have him dress up like the Toad. It would be really good. I think that when I see people, I was like, well, that guy could be that character. I think about like that kind of stuff all the time. But this Rich Fulcher guy would really be good. He would be really good as the Marvel, the Toad, the original Toad guy from the earlier Magneto stuff. Okay. Then the third one that I would kind of favor to be host is Sam Edson. And Edson, I'm not saying it right, but he's a bigger guy, but he was the star of a movie called Zero Charisma. And man, he was really good in that. He really pulled it off. And I don't know how any of these guys are good at working crowds. They might not be good at crowd working or work out as game show people. And whoever ends up making this show, they just keep in mind you want like a guy that pulls off the Criminal Clink kind of a thing, where I got you. I'm more powerful than you, but also I really want to impress you. I'm a really cool guy, and when I lose, I really get mad. All that kind of stuff like that. I think that's what would really work. What else? Okay. Now I did kind of a picture, and I have a whole bunch of pictures that I'm putting in that I've done in Nano Banana. I did rough sketches and I put them in Nano Banana on kind of like pictures that real janky storyboard I did that still conveyed my meaning, what I meant. But now I'm thinking maybe it'd have to be 4 fights, like 3 fights to get ready for the last fight, to have the experience point things work out. And Lord willing, if I get to, I'll make some more videos about that. But Nicole Williamson was the Merlin in the 1981's Excalibur, and he had like a metal cap on. And every time I think about whoever hosts this, I think about that metal cap. I want the wizard to have that metal kind of cap for thing. And I think it's part of this Nicole Willis films in the original Excalibur, 1981 Excalibur, but also Ming the Merciless, who's not really a wizard, but he's a really good example of evil wizard, but he's just an evil ruler, I think. Okay. Now I talked before about Disney, and then what would really make it work is for be able to talk like in real time. The contestants talk to whatever's on the screen, whatever monsters appear. But really, it doesn't have to be like that. I'm going to put in a whole bunch of pictures of Etten, which is like a two-headed giant, and you can do this with presets, with video presets like like you preset like a video game, like a recording like a video game, where like this is the reaction if the Etten kills or knocks out the wizard. This is the reaction if the Etten knocks out the thief. This is the reaction if one of the Etten's heads get knocked out. And this is the reaction. And you record just reactions, and if they win, they celebrate like this. Just a whole bunch of like that. So you don't really have to have a real-time thing, which might be super difficult. And they could still do like, on some of the things, still have like the Muppets. And I don't mean like the felt Muppets. I mean like the Star Wars Muppets. Like what they made in that creature shop competition thing. Like the Muppets, they have like two different Muppets. Like there's a Muppet that's the hand puppet, and then they have the Muppets where like they do like a dancing thing. Like there's two of them. Well, they make two different Muppets. It'll be like the Muppet that is the AI Muppet, and it goes through all the presets. And then there's the actual Muppet, which is a guy controlling it, was videotaped and made into the AI Muppet that worked. And then later on, after the actual game show part, which is real time contestants doing the game show, later on, like you have like excerpts of happenings, kind of like the original Muppet Show. And I've seen the new Muppet Show, and I like it. It's got like it's Miss Piggy's show now, and she's like a talk show host. I like how it is, and I like what they did with it. I thought it was really good. But train of thought. Like in the original Muppet Show, when the cast person or whatever character gets off stage, they talk to Kermit out there, and sometimes they visit the dressing room. So you film the real time video, the real time game, and then after that's all done, you edit in the little excerpts of happenings between characters afterwards. Like, you didn't do so good, we're going to have to trade you to another dungeon. Or it's like I don't want to be in this dungeon anywhere, like, that kind of stuff. And also, you don't have to worry about if the dungeon monsters are good, evil, lawful, or nothing, because there's nothing, no one's getting slain. It's all going to be like you have the monster, but the monster says what it's going to do, and then you have either assistant, or maybe if you have a character audience, you have someone from the character audience come out as a thrall, and like you roll the dice for the bad guys, and the good guys roll the dice, and the guy from the character audience, this is like my thrall, and they'll get something if the bad guys win, and the contestants get something if they win, or something like that. Or you can have an assistant, which would be cool too, which might be better. I'm not for sure. Also, AI stuff. So now that you can do this with presets, like a video game, it's like some kind of role-playing video game. There's like so many different AI artists that I've seen on Instagram and also on YouTube. My favorites are Getty Ruxpin, The Creatureverse, and Wonderland. And the first two, Getty Ruxpin and The Creatureverse, I've only seen on Instagram, though they might be on YouTube. But this Wonderland, WAINDERLAND, is also got a YouTube thing, and it's like a Dark Souls thing. And then it shows you like choose your sidekick, and it has like a bunch of stuff like that. They're making stuff like that like super snappy, and if you watch on my Instagram channel, then you'll see like I explain like in my first comic book, like how many all these characters is what made it so good. And you think about like Garbage Patch Kids and Pokemon and stuff. You want like a whole bunch of characters on the one thing where like it's like a whole bunch of doors and you have to choose one. The first one would be like 12 doors. The second one would be like 10 or 8 doors. The third one will be like 8 or 6 doors. Or no, it'll be 8 doors, and the third one will be 6 doors. And then before the game starts, you show them the end thing will have 3 doors, and the 3 doors will have the high power monsters that they can, if they beat these monsters that they choose the doors they go through, then they beat those, they get experience, and they can choose different powers and stuff to help them. So they can kind of plan around who they might have to fight on the third thing, and even then they have to pick one of the doors, and they might not get the guy they planned for, and you might be able to sell them like some kind of perks or something along the way. Okay, something else. Is there anything else on this one? I'm gonna put a whole bunch of like pictures I did on Nana Banana, and y'all are just gonna have to look through them and figure out which applies to what thing I said. It should be pretty easy. But that's it, YouTube. Thank you very much. See, we see my cool hands? Get you, you know. I like them. I like this. I got this. This is actually Gorilla. Like, I had the receipt, but it's like Sarganies or Raganis, something Ganies. And I got these offline. I really like these. I like this mask too. I wanted one that had like more hair and like a gorilla that didn't have all the teeth, but they didn't have that. They had like a chimpanzee looking guy, but I didn't want to be a chimpanzee. I wanted to be a gorilla. So that's it. So I'm Mr. Jerry, the gorilla with the magic hat, and I just laid a whole bunch of stuff on you in a short period of time, and you can be sure there's 10 things I forgot to talk about.